Most people are scared to talk to camera, especially when some people are around. And by the way, I'm sitting like in a co-working type of studio. To get to the point where I could normally record in front of people knowing that they are listening took me some time. I recorded 200 videos, got some experience, but there is one specific thing I remember about like being confident on stage. So I've been dancing breakdance for since I was 10 or 13, something like this. Around 3 years. I don't do it professionally anymore, but I can dance. That's the song. And once I had this group dance in front of 4,000 people. And I was 13. So at that moment it shattered all of my beliefs. Like, it was so scared that I felt sick this day. I felt like my spine couldn't handle it. I didn't do everything that the group did. And then there was a moment where I danced myself. And that was the moment of the limiting belief break. From that moment on, I'm telling myself, I mean, if I stood around 4,000 people, like recording in front of the camera and like people that are sitting here, so that's all right. I mean, obviously I ask them for permission to talk, to not to disturb them. But being cringe is actually a good tactic, specifically on YouTube. And I'm the guy that spent money into mentorships. I bought courses. I looked into the space, and I'm also researching the niche. I work in the marketing agency. Point is, I have proof that I know stuff about YouTube. The biggest thing about thumbnails, for example, what do you think is the best thumbnail? The one that has 3 elements? The one that is simple and plain to understand? The one that stands out the most. That's the matter right now, uniqueness. And being cringe can literally be defined of being unique. In fact, cringe is like the word that is negatively associated with uniqueness, something that you feel negative about, that you shy out. But when somebody is proposing or kissing, some young kids would say, oh, this is cringe. You know, this is not comfortable. So you can use it to your own advantage, even though it's cringe, they are looking. And they are paying attention. That's what you get more attention by being cringe. So how can you be that cringe person? By just being yourself. At the end of the day, you won't appeal to everyone. You can polarize some and you will dispolarize others. And that's okay, because you are not Mr. Beast. Even Mr. Beast have haters, right? But it is a cheat code because it literally makes you stand out of the crowd. It makes people to recognize you and to remember you for as long as possible. I also heard about concept return maxing, and this is like a philosophy in itself, like return maxing, being stupid for your own benefit. Like, go talk to the girl, don't overthink. And that's when it benefits you because you want to find a wife, for example. Same thing here. If you use it to the point where it makes you stand out more, it makes you more unique, it feels like you put this baggage off and you don't read of the script and you don't pretend that you're some kind of guru. That's when it can benefit you. I was looking at the homepage yesterday, at YouTube homepage, you know, when you scroll and there is thumbnails and titles. I was looking in my niche because I have this ideation channel where I store every YouTube Grows person I know. I just subscribe to them, watch their videos. And then when I scroll, it just only YouTube Grows. And what I found is everyone is either doing like high polishing face and text and very polished thumbnail. They're trying to get the curiosity because everyone is a guru and everybody knows that by being curious, you can capture people. By people asking themselves a question in the thumbnail, you can capture them to your video, and if they don't click, they don't watch, so that's one of the most important things. But they put effort into it, and it feels like they're trying to prove a point. Okay, so I'm a guru, and I'm gonna do this high quality, high production thumbnail. You can do that, but will you stand out of thousands of people? It's interesting because there is an industry of like helping people to get more money. And the way those people get more money is by helping people to get more money. It feels like an MLM, right? Like a pyramid. Because the one guy that sells the most, like Iman Gaji, that teaches other how to sell, and it never ends. And I once asked a guy that was in the niche, in the wealth niche, in the info selling niche, how to get more money by like cold outreach and teaching you how to choose a niche, blah, 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 you know, those business stuff. And he said, well, you know, I not only help guys that teach other people how to make money, but I also help like health coaches. And he mostly helped coaches, relationship coaches, and the loop closes. And some that will learn how to make money, they will also teach that, obviously, but the loop closes. And there is 2 sides of me fighting. One guy saying that they're wrong because how can you teach someone to make money and you benefit from it? Like, what's the intention here? To make more money or to teach someone? Or to make more money while teaching someone, which is also okay. But something is like, something is saying that it's not right. Other standpoint, the guy achieved the outcome that I want, so he probably know how to help me achieve it as well. And if it's in the sense of by me teaching other people how to make money, it is weird. And I felt like I'm in that position, I'm gonna be transparent here, a moment ago, because I'm a YouTube growth expert and I teach people how to get more views, right? And at the end of the day, they look at my channel and they look for my views. And sometimes, I get 50 views and that's fine. Because not all the topics are interested to people. And again, it's my mistake because I didn't research the topic and I wasn't sure. But at the end of the day, I'm learning as well. And trial and error, there will be high views, low views, like everything in life. Point being, I can tell you that I'm an expert and you should listen to me. And everybody could say that, especially moneymaker guys. They prove at the beginning, and they all do that. I did that in the beginning, even unintentional. I didn't plan it. I just said so that you listen, that I went through courses and bought mentorships, right? When it comes from unintentionally, when you just like talk to people, then that's all right. But when you plan it and you like desperately try to convince them to stay, people feel that shit. And that's when cringe maxing comes in. Because cringe people don't overthink. Like, that's like a retard maxing again. Look at some YouTubers. Think of the guys that you watched recently. Are there any new people? If not, that's alright. But if yes, look at the way they make videos. What was the difference? What captivated your attention? What made them special? I've been on a call in my community, 7-day YouTube challenge school. It's paid, so if you want, you can find the link in the description. But we just had a call. And I asked people, what do you think when you think of my profile on YouTube? And they say, you're a smart guy. You should lean into that. And they give me this characteristic of what they were thinking about me, and that's where I'm leaning. Even though I feel like I'm a very energetic person, I also think I'm very analytical. And so I'm leaning into this analytic side, while emotion also benefit me to convince you. Nonetheless, they described it to me, and I can lean into that. And I described that to them as well. How do I feel about each of the guys? What do I think about? So for example, there was a Dennis, and Dennis is like very friendly guy in those communities. And I know that he associates with me like a health guy. He know stuff about skincare. And he like has a good skin. And so this is what he should lean into. Because that's what I think about him. And that's what I would expect when I go to his channel, to learn something new about skincare. And to enjoy his friendliness, not feeling like pushy sales. While other guy, Wally, he's a spiritual guy. He really likes to crack beliefs. He really loves to ask questions that are uncomfortable, that makes you feel bad. But even though that he asks them, when you reply to them, you know that it will benefit you. This uncomfortability is actually something attracted. And so if he would push in his videos call to action, I would actually expect that from him. And so the competition appears when you copy, because then you compete with the same style. When you use Proof Promise Plan by Alex Hormozy, most of the growth YouTubers do that. You compete with them, and there will be always better guy with better camera, with better Proof Promise Plan written down. But like I show how I create the thumbnail. Let's recreate it as well. I'm gonna look at the monitor because I'm not sure like it captured the beauty of cringe. When cringe, I think of this guy Stitch, like a streamer. He always does this with his eyebrows. You do some weird stuff like that. This is cringe. Like somebody would look at me like from the co-working space and they would think, what the hell is this guy doing? And that's alright. That's alright. Because they are looking, what the hell is he doing? Let me get to know more. That's what we want at the end of the day. And so the problem, like I feel what most people have, it's what I had. It's like over-preparing for the sake of showing yourself up. Charlie Morgan, one of his videos, he's going through his phone, and this is a hook of his video, so the first seconds. And he says,
I found myself scrolling on Instagram recently. I downloaded it to check out some stuff for my business, to look at some competitors, like funnels and stuff. I haven't doom scrolled for about a year, and I thought, right, pull this timer up, set 5 minutes on it, and I thought, I'm going to scroll for 5 minutes to see what the algorithm has for me.
And you can feel by his emotions and by the way he says this, and he doesn't make eye contact with the camera. You know he's lying. He wants to appear beautiful, perfect. When I think of it, I always think of Elon Musk. If you put Elon Musk on an Instagram and you make him like sit in front of the scrolling thing, he would scroll as well because it's so addicted. It's made by scientists. Literally hijacks your psychology. And the same thing happens with Charlie Morgan. But he's not admitting it. He wants to show how perfect he is. No, you're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Charlie, if you're listening, just be your cringe self because that's attractive to people. Maybe not attractive at all times. First things that come to mind is clavicular, like this bone smashing guy, Luke smashing guy. And another woman is Bonnie, the woman that had... okay, this is a family-friendly channel. Never mind. Let's focus on clavicular. This guy is literally doing everything to get attention. Yes, he's maybe psychologically down bad. Yes, his mental health isn't the best, but he's filthy rich. He's making money. You can save your physical stuff, psychological stuff, and also make money by being unique, by being cringe. So he's very cringe, in negative way, and makes him money. Like, what's the ethical line here for you? I guess that's for you to decide. But controversy is one of the things that I feel like cringes people. And there is this tactic as well to send your troops to war, which means basically send your audience to some kind of conflict. And when you do that, some people will say, oh, it's cringe, he's trying to fight social media. No, okay, social media, everyone hates that. But something that, nobody hates. Like, he's trying to fight for being vegan. That's cringe. Why would you try to fight? Why would you try to prove to people that they shouldn't eat meat? But at the end of the day, he would have people that he polarized, that value the same thing and that highly, deeply are invested into it, which will make him more money. And they are not here for money only, right? We're here also to change lives. At the end of the day, my mission is just to help people, to show their talents to the world. I felt like my talent of self-improvement wasn't enough when I started. I was making self-improvement YouTube videos. I just decided that I will help other people to show their talents to the world. There is so many artists, so many people that cook, that know stuff about fitness, like health, relationship, wealth, but they're just never heard of. So I thought I will make this my mission, and I'm fulfilling it, even though like it doesn't pay off my lifestyle yet.